In 1929, a group of historians discovered something impossible. A map, created in 1513, showing the coastline of Antarctica in perfect detail, without ice. There's just one problem. Antarctica wasn't officially discovered until 1820, and it's been buried under a mile of ice for millions of years. So how did a 16th century Turkish admiral draw a map of a continent that shouldn't exist? A coastline no human had ever seen. And why, 432 years later, did the United States military launch the largest expedition in Antarctic history, with 4,700 men, 13 ships, and 33 aircraft, only to abruptly abandon it and classify the findings? This is the story of two mysteries that should never be connected. But they are. The year is 1929. Constantinople, now Istanbul. Scholars are cataloging old manuscripts in the Topkapi Palace Library when they find it. A fragment of a map drawn on gazelle skin. The signature reads, Piri Reis, 1513. Admiral Piri Reis was a renowned Ottoman cartographer and naval commander. His maps were known for their accuracy. He claimed to have used over 20 source maps to create this one, some dating back to the time of Alexander the Great. But when experts examined the Piri Reis map, they saw something that shouldn't be there: Antarctica. Not as we know it today, a frozen white wasteland, but Antarctica as it would look without ice, with mountains, rivers, coastlines. The map showed the Queen Maud Land coast with geographical features that were only confirmed in 1949 using ground-penetrating radar and seismic surveys. Let that sink in. A map from 1513 showing features beneath a mile of ice, features that weren't verified until the 20th century. Dr. Charles Hapgood, a professor at Keene State College, spent years analyzing the map. In 1960, he sent it to the U.S. Air Force for evaluation. Their response? The 8th Reconnaissance Technical Squadron confirmed the geographical detail shown in the lower part of the map agrees very remarkably with the results of the seismic profile made across the top of the ice cap. Translation: the map is accurate, impossibly accurate. So how? Some researchers proposed a theory. The map was copied from much older sources that existed before Antarctica froze over. But according to mainstream geology, Antarctica has been frozen for at least 6,000 years. Some estimates say millions, which means whoever mapped Antarctica's ice-free coastline did so in a time we don't have records of, a time that officially didn't have advanced civilizations. Unless, fast forward to 1946, World War II has just ended. The Navy is preparing for something unusual. Operation Highjump, the largest military expedition ever sent to Antarctica. Led by Rear Admiral Richard E. Byrd, a polar exploration legend and Medal of Honor recipient. The mission? Establish a research base, test equipment in freezing conditions, and extend American sovereignty over the continent. At least, that's the official story. But here's what doesn't add up. They brought 4,700 military personnel, 13 ships, including an aircraft carrier, submarines and destroyers, 33 aircraft. For a research mission? The operation was scheduled to last 6 to 8 weeks. It ended abruptly after just 8 weeks. Something went wrong. Admiral Byrd's team suffered casualties, equipment was lost, and when he returned, Admiral Byrd allegedly gave an interview to a Chilean newspaper, El Mercurio, in March 1947. He reportedly said something chilling. "It is necessary for the USA to take defensive actions against enemy air fighters that come from the polar regions. In case of a new war, the USA will be attacked by fighters that are able to fly from one pole to the other with incredible speed." Enemy fighters from the polar regions. The interview has been disputed. Some say it's a mistranslation, others call it disinformation. But what's undeniable is this: the mission was cut short, the findings were classified, and Operation Highjump was never fully explained. Byrd returned to Antarctica in 1955 for Operation Deep Freeze. He died in 1957. Whatever he saw or didn't see went with him.
So let's connect the dots. A 16th century map shows Antarctica without ice. Geological data confirms Antarctica was ice-free at some point in the distant past, but no known ancient civilization had the technology to map an entire continent with such precision. Then, in 1946, the United States sends a military armada to the most remote place on Earth and leaves in a hurry. Why? Theory 1. Ancient civilization. Some researchers believe the Piri Reis map is evidence of a lost advanced civilization, one that existed before recorded history. A civilization that had the knowledge and tools to map the world, including Antarctica, before it froze. This theory aligns with ideas popularized by Graham Hancock and others. The concept of a global cataclysm around 12,000 years ago that wiped out advanced societies, leaving only fragments behind: maps, myths, megaliths. Could the source maps Piri Reis used have come from this lost advanced civilization? Theory 2. Extraterrestrial contact. Others take it further. If humans couldn't have mapped Antarctica in its ice-free state, who did? Ancient astronaut theorists suggest the map and other anomalies like the Nazca lines and pyramids are evidence of extraterrestrial visitors who possessed advanced knowledge. Operation Highjump in this narrative wasn't about sovereignty. It was about something else, something they found, or something that found them. Theory 3. Nazi base. Here's where it gets darker. During World War II, Nazi Germany had a keen interest in Antarctica. They even claimed a section called Neuschwabenland, New Swabia, in 1939. Rumors persist that the Nazis established secret bases in Antarctica. Some theories suggest advanced technology, possibly reverse-engineered from unknown sources, was hidden there. Could the Operation Highjump have been a mission to locate and neutralize remaining Nazi strongholds? And if so, what did they encounter? Theory 4. Nothing. The skeptical view. Operation Highjump was exactly what it claimed to be, a military training exercise. The early termination was due to harsh weather and logistical challenges. Byrd's alleged interview was fabricated or misquoted. The Piri Reis map. an impressive but explainable artifact, perhaps copied from earlier Roman or Phoenician maps that had some distorted knowledge of southern lands. The ice-free Antarctica detail? A coincidence, a lucky guess, case closed. Except, why does the U.S. government still classify portions of Operation Highjump's records? Why has Antarctica been subject to the Antarctic Treaty since 1961, an agreement that prohibits military activity, mineral mining, and nuclear testing? Why is it one of the most restricted places on Earth? And why, even now, are there reports of strange magnetic anomalies, underground lakes, and vast structures detected beneath the ice? Structures that some researchers claim are too geometrically precise to be natural. In 2001, satellite imagery revealed a massive anomaly in Wilkes Land, Antarctica, a gravity anomaly suggesting something enormous beneath the ice. Some scientists believe it's a meteor crater, others aren't so sure. In 2018, researchers discovered enormous ancient riverbeds beneath the ice, proof that Antarctica was once warm and habitable. The continent holds secrets, frozen, hidden, waiting. So here's the question. What if the Piri Reis map wasn't created by ancient explorers at all, but copied from something much older? What if Operation Highjump found something they weren't prepared for? And what if Antarctica isn't just a frozen wasteland, but a graveyard of answers we're not ready to dig up? Because the ice is melting, and whatever's underneath, it won't stay buried forever. What do you think is really beneath the ice? Leave your theory below.